altitude display.
We can get the radius within 2 miles.
Spitfire Duo, Roger, and Squawk 7004.
And the formation will change now again, back to box, and followed by its carrier. Reversing to the right, slowly. Formation is fly with 4 Sierra Cat.
124 and decimal 8.
Of the Belgian Air Force.
248, 1248, go.
Created this year on the occasion of the 60th.
Hi, sir. Next is going to be the final split.
Yep. On. There's the tower, it's Spitfire Duo, holding an echo.
Roger.
Has sadly passed away. You may not have known his name, you may well have seen him. It was hard to miss wearing his trademark Russian hat. His name was Mark de Kassel. He was a doctor.
And Red Devils, downwind to land.
Red Devils, clear to land, runway 27, the surface wind 25015 knots.
Clear to land, runway 27, Red Devils will land mid of the runway.
Tutor, hold position. To fill in a gap in the display program, would you be happy to do your display immediately after the Spitfire Mustang display? Sure, Roger, and that will be the plan.
Alternatively, Spitfire Mustang, we can give you a couple of moments of solo if necessary.
Spitfire is Mustang.
Spitfire's on the ground, Mustang. You can position towards final. There's a Tutor high crossing the extended centre line now.
And Mustang turning right, final, geared up.
Spitfire, and you can taxi into your parking space.
Spitfire, roger, going to ground.
Mustang first right, ground 1305. No need to respond.
Just confirm you're actually on the northern apron, just behind the display team.
Chinook, yes.
Okay, I was given different info there. Just hold position, I'll get to lead the vehicle out to you.
Holding, Chinook.
And lead the vehicle on the north side for Chinook to take Chinook to Foxtrot North.
That was leader 6, I was going to there. I'm just sterilising for the Mustang to come in, and then I'll go down there straight away.
Lead 6, that's understood, thank you.
Mustang on ground.
Mustang ground, taxi back to your parking spot.
Speed's decreasing. 100 knots.
Chinook, can I have radius and altitude of your display, please?
The aircraft's got no more energy left. Hands in the air. Yours down to the left. There he goes. Lost all of his
Chinook, roger, and squawk 7004.
That's the blood portion.
Speed again to 120 odd knots.
Monitor tower, 124 decimal 8.
That's why aileron roll there, because he's fighting into wind. He needs to generate a bit more space. And he's going to pull up into a loop at crowd centre now. Pulling back hard on the control column, pushing positive G this time. Holding back all the time. Back down to crowd centre, wing level. This is Sean's 540 degree flick, 60 degree flick across the top. There he goes. As I said, this aircraft that Sean's flying in, all RF pilots that join the Air Force start off with this aircraft doing approximately 55 to 60 hours of basic flying, handling, bit of aerobatics, low-level flying, instrument flying, and generally learning how to fly an aircraft before they get streamed onto further aircraft. Sean's just performed a wing over there, just reverse the display direction to come back across the crowd centre now. Another slightly advanced manoeuvre now, Sean's performing a slow roll. Incredibly difficult manoeuvre, it's, as you can see it's a fluid manoeuvre there, but crossing shortly. Gaining speed. There he goes, over the top. He's going away from crowd centre now. Descending down to, he'll be about 500 feet now. Building up the speed, he's going to pull up for one more stall turn. This one's called the noddy stall turn. He's going to wave his wings at the crowd 3 times. 1, 2, 3. There he goes, he's lost the momentum again. You're back down, crowd centre now. All the time building up the speed. Once that speed's built up to about 120 knots again, he'll pull up for a loop. You'll see the RF random any time. Alright, he's gone into a Mach 20 turn. There he goes, through 450 degrees, pull it back hard on the control column just to maintain wings level. Pulling more G as he does so. And as he gets back through crowd centre, one more flick, there he goes, over the top. There he goes, coming up 300 feet, turning back, 500 feet, one last flip, there he goes, over the top. And that concludes Sean's...
On the brake, low, land.
Today.
Tutor, clear to land, wind 25020 knots.
And here,
Clear land, Tutor.
round to the right.
Like, the surface wind 24024, maximum 30 knots.
Running for the west, clear display, time.
Now it looks as though we've got enough good weather for Dan to go into his full display. So the first manoeuvre he's going to perform there is the half Cuban. So he's rolled through 360 degrees before further 180 as he positions back out to our right hand side. You'll be able now to see the paint scheme in all its glory as Dan rolls upside down. The silver top side and the dark blue underside giving a contrast in aircraft roll, and the red, white and blue on the wings representing the colours of the Royal Air Force, and of course Union Jack. Student pilots who successfully complete basic marching training go on to fly the British Aerospace Hawk, which you'll see displayed up later. So the Tucano's copy was initially modified to make the transition to flying Hawk a little easier. Student pilots who are selected for basic marching training fly around 120 hours in the Tucano during a 9-month period, at which time they're taught and tested on a number of mid-air as the speed runs out. Nice backdrop there for those of you with large lenses on your cameras. Having slew the aircraft's nose round using rudder, Dan's going to hold it in the vertical, accelerate, and then pull up to anywhere to sort of 5 or 6 G. And bear in mind that the Tucano is not equipped to use G-suits. This is all done just using sheer force and brute strength. Pulling up to the vertical, next manoeuvre is a quarter climber. Flight attendant Dan Hayes, or Daisy as he's now known, was chosen to be this year's Tucano display pilot back in November of last year, and at the age of 25 is the youngest ever RAF Tucano display pilot. This has an negative G capability for Tucano, and also give us a chance to see the striking red, white and blue painting. For Dan Adams was pushing around about 2.5 negative G there, and it's not a very comfortable position to be in. This season, the Tucano display team is raising money for the Royal Air Forces Association. And the
Leader 3 ground.
Would you like me to position the Echo to connect the Tucano?
Latest.
Yes, please.
Asking some questions, please do feel free. And if you depart with some of our goodies and donations...
Jordanian Vulcan, Fairford ground. Good afternoon, readability 5.
In addition to support from Common and we've also had...
Jordanian Vulcan, start as approved, displays on time.
Second and third line engine maintenance. And once again, I'd like to just say thank you very much from the team for their generous support this year. So craning your necks up there, Dan's playing another stall turn in our position using Canadian brake to position out to our right and left. As I mentioned, RAF Lincoln on News is home of one FTS. One host roll through about 5 times. However, given the strength of the wind and the length of the runway, we might be on for a new Tucano record today.
Vulcan, taxi via Foxtrot to Foxtrot North.
7, 8, 9, is he going to stop there? Yes, he is.
The ground from Grommet, patrons requesting cross south to north.
Grommet, hold position, say again, position.
Patrons.
Grommet, roger, hold position.
Hold a position.
From us all for the 2011 team, thank you very much indeed. Please enjoy the rest of your day.
Tucano, clear to land, runway 27, surface wind 25014, maximum 28.
Land, Tucano.
Theatres around the world, one that is continued at present.
Take off to route to the south, the surface winds 26022 knots.
Clear takeoff, request runway 27 with left turn.
AFM runway 27, left turn out after the crowd then.
27 on the left turn out onto the crowd.
Clear takeoff, then turn right to route to the east of the airfield.
Roger, right, east, and right in the north.
AFM then crossing the extended centre line to the east of the airfield.
Copy.
Cross runway 27 now at Patrons.
Grommet crossing 27, heard of Tucano vacating. We'll report vacating ourselves.
Chinook, clear display.
Chinook display, 1 minute.
South ground, Grommet vacated 27.
Grommet town, roger. No, thank you, contact ground 130.5.
130.5, connect. Hello, taxi back.
Tucano ground, don't have a follow me if you're at the moment. If you're happy with that, taxi to hold short at Foxtrot North.
Taxi holding short, Foxtrot North, Tucano.
Grommet, Fairford ground.
We're supposed to do the runway inspection after the Jordanian Vulcan. They're going on after the Chinook.
AFM.
Okay, thanks.
accompanies the aircraft to the workforce of the Afghan theatre. The aircraft today is Chinook Mark II from our Airpodium, displays 14 tons. As you can see, it's still highly manoeuvrable, making it an ideal battlefield helicopter. Trying to slow down the aircraft, doing what not many other helicopters can do. They'll start moving back on two. The aircraft get used to their Zulu Hotel 895, using the UK to the operation of the flights at our Airpodium, train pilots and crewmen and move on to the front line. It's also used by the operational flight that still currently training some
Chinook, Roger, thank you.
The Royal Jordanian Vulcans, perennial award winners here over the years, both on the Pick Special that they used to fly and the extra EA300. Extra and they're changing into a tango formation for the tango loop.
Pulls up for a half cube into inverted dive.
then you'll see a -3G push and a +4G pull while maintaining box formation. This last manoeuvre is very demanding as the pilots maintain close formation while flying under intense negative and positive pressure.
Well, that was the 3G push, this is the 4G pull. Finishing up another tight quarter clover, just to adjust themselves for the next manoeuvre, the vertical split.
Change now to Vic formation and look now towards the crowd. This will be followed by a barrel roll.
Roll to the right. Put up. Now. Roll.
Eagle Apache, yeah, can now taxi to hold short at Foxtrot
All
North.
three of them pulling up into the vertical, bleeding speed off, no forward speed at all, hammer heading over and descending and building speed up.
As they pull out of this dive now, the team will change to mirror formation, while the left wing man will barrel roll around the formation. Coming in from the right-hand side, we'll see the three-ship formation coming in to perform we're going to see a half cube in preparation for the team's signature move, which is the Hashemite break.
Just port final break coming up.
Here we go, the Royal Canadian Falcons 2011.
Hog safety radio check.
And this their signature.
Break. Ready, go!
Hashemite break.
Okay, wind check 250, 2 knots. Eagle Apache.
Start 1
Hawk, there for ground, good afternoon. Start is approved, display is running +5.
+5, copy, Hawk.
And pressures QNH 997 millibars, QNB 987 millibars.
Hawk.
There for ground, wind check 24022, maximum 29 knots.
Has been out in Afghanistan and will return there again. And interestingly, is one of the cabs that has taken a bullet through its main rotor tail shaft and continued to fly. The crew will run back in from the right now, form a 360-degree wing over to come back out to crowd left. As you're all aware, we're going to use the Apache helicopter is currently deployed overseas. This is one purpose and one purpose only, your enjoyment. We're returning back out to Afghanistan early January. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see the Apache running back in from the left to form a 270-degree wing over, the route away from the crowd centre. Reselling. Reselling is complete.
Apache, that's for complete right wind, downwind, join back to the threshold.
Hawk, monitor tower 124.8.
Monitor tower 124.8, Hawk.
Next item, which is for me one of the stars of the show.
Apache, taxi help contact ground on 130.5.
Press the ground, leave Apache then.
Ready, hack.
But now the jet from the 8th Squadron at the Spangdahlem Air Base in Germany getting airborne the A-10C Thunderbolt 2.
The work yesterday is just the email.
Rifle.
Go ahead.
The same issue as yesterday. We're going to try for about 3 minutes to fix it.
Okay, what's the nature of the problem?
And what we're about to see is truly something.
Stability augmentation. It's electrical in nature.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Weather cleared up perfectly for it.
Yeah, horrible.
Captain Shutterly and the A-10. Now with Captain Shutterly straight into the burn, demonstrating the Warthog power and maneuverability in all attitudes of flight. Captain Shutterly is now positioning the A-10 for a pass down the show line where he will perform a double aileron roll and show sensor. During this maneuver, he will demonstrate the Hog's rapid roll capability by rolling his 35,000-pound aircraft at 200 degrees per second. Captain Shutterly is repositioning the A-10 for a slow roll along the show line to demonstrate the Hog's precise handling characteristics. As he rolls, you will notice a faint canopy painted on the belly of the aircraft directly underneath the cockpit. This false canopy is designed to deceive enemy ground troops as to the Warthog's direction of turn, while concealing a titanium armor barrier that protects the pilot and cockpit from enemy ground troops. Now, from your right, the classic aerobatic maneuver, the Cuban 8. It's the A-10's remarkable maneuverability that enables it to perform its close air support mission. Twisting and turning low over the battlefield, the Warthog can deliver devastating firepower, destroying targets in close proximity to friendly ground forces. In its arsenal are a wide variety of modern weapons, including J-Dams, and AIM-9 air-to-air missiles. All of these weapons have been used to attack enemy forces in Iraq, Bosnia, Kosovo, and Afghanistan. The A-10's two TF-34 turbofan engines add more than just power to its performance. They're also smokeless and much quieter than comparable engines. This makes the airplane much more The Hog's engines are also extremely fuel efficient, enabling it to fly more than 2,000.
From your left, Captain Shutterly and the high G-turn. Of an average speedway and well over twice the speed of your favorite driver. On the battlefield, this capability enables the Warthog to turn quickly and evade enemy air defenses. Captain Shutterly...
Just like this one are providing close air support to coalition forces supporting today's joint fight. I'm honored to demonstrate how we checked out the mighty Warthog.
These forces usually include an Air Force joint tactical.
That's probably what they've done. Coming into land, right? Might get a good photo of those down. I'm not that keen on this down there. No, they're coming out of the way. What the hell? What's to it?
Captain Shepley then rolling out in the A-10C, the aircraft borrowed for the occasion from the 81st Fighter Squadron at Spangdahlem Air Base in Germany.
Right then, see another aircraft with the nose boat. That's the Royal Air Force Hawk, which will take off and then go and hold before coming in for her display, flown this year by Flight Lieutenant Jules Fleming.
Before that, we've got our contribution from the French Air Force in the shape of the Rafale C.
Alpha Avatar, line up 27.
Waiting.
Check 25014 knots. 021 knots. Clear takeoff display runway 27.
For the team, again, the Rafale is just...
Quick to Django and take off.
seen an umbrella blow across the runway. It's going away from the runway now, your side. Are you able to intercept it?
Yeah, I'll try and find it, yeah.
Ground lead right, that's the second one in about the past 10 minutes, so mainly keep an eye on umbrellas across the water.
Yep, will do, and we'll just get some compensation to broadcast.
It's interesting to fly over the enemy at low altitude, very high speed. New IG barrel roll. Another pass, but as you can see, is upside down. Not a very orthodox method. The top of the loop, we will put the wheels down for a full stop.
This wind is 26023 knots, runway 27 clear to land.
I copy. Just outside.
Chief, and you know that it's probably the only wedding with 3 people is possible in the aviation. You must have a pilot, of course, an aircraft.
Umbrella is stuck in the grass just near the Charlie signboard. It's a blue and white umbrella, but I guess it's an on-foot job.
And leader 7's on my way to Charlie North.
Leader 7, roger, thanks.
Before the first trip. It was, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the Rafale of the French Air Force, and he will be back tomorrow. Because tomorrow we expect to have a very sunny day.
We certainly hope so. Yeah, Alain, I want to thank you very much. It's worth mentioning very quickly before the hall runs in.
Is 265 at 18 knots, clear takeoff 27 and depart to the Sandy Hawk.
Clear takeoff and apologies, I was going to the Bryce Hold Hawk.
Understand to the Bryce Hold, roger.
Hey, Ben.
Sorry about that. Clear display, surface wind check 27024 knots.
Clear display, Hawk.
To go out onto the grass to get the umbrella.
Leader 7, that's approved.
Okay, I'm just going out to get it now.
Roger.
And now forgotten about sometimes. She's doing a very good job increasing the PR for the Air Force and showing that anyone can do this job. They really can.
That's orange for taxi.
She finds the normal display one of the more challenging.
Orange, Roger. After the Rafale has passed, taxi holding point Foxtrot South, runway 27. Lead 7 grand.
7 Charlie North, if you want to take the Hawk back to red when she's finished.
Lead 7, affirm, Charlie North, thank you. Orange, hold position, and monitor Fairford Tower 124.8.
Joining to get into this station out of the Hawk display final.
Jules joined the Air Force straight after a gap year after school. She didn't go to university. She did her...
Oh, great, lad.
Oh, Roger, report final. Oh, clear to land 27, wind 270, 18 knots.
We'll of course see 9 more Hawks when the Royal Air Force Red Arrows take the sky later on. Always a great cornerstone of any great air show, seeing the Reds.
Their slot at present scheduled for 15:30, 3:30 this afternoon.
If you look to the right now, you'll see a very brightly painted orange and black jet. That's the display jet, the F-16 of the Royal Netherlands Air Force, flown for us here by Captain Tobias Schutter, call sign High-Tech. His team once again have created a magnificent display of the unique capabilities of the F-16.
This 25019 knots, runway 27, clear takeoff and display.
High-Tech Schutter in the Royal Netherlands Air Force F-16 solar display for 2011.
Confirm your maximum radius and altitude. 500, Roger, 8,500 QNH, 5 miles copied, and squawk 7004.
On departure, climb straight ahead, flight level 50, passing 2,000 feet, turn right, heading 340, cruise jet 0882.
Fairford ground, good afternoon. Just continue to hold to the south of the field.
Continue to hold and 2 miles from
All formation there.
And we'll bring you in.
Troopship routines, and we must ever forget the Grasshoppers on their Alouette 3 helicopters.
Yeah, remember them from my very first show, 20 years ago, 1991?
Yes.
Well, there goes the chute in the colours of the Dutch national flag. Give them a wave. Tobias high-tech scooter. Great display.
Zero 13 knots, runway 27, clear takeoff and display.
Orange at Fairford ground. I can see you dropped your chute, that's fine, and follow leader vehicle number 6.
Catching out left for 27, QFB 987. Yes.
The initials from the right for the slow pass, undercarriage down, landing lights on, and the air brake on the top out. So good opportunity for the photo spotters.
Of the wing walkers and the jets of the Branding Jet team. A combination there of braking from the chute, from the air brake and the nose up to the aerodynamic brakes. That time it's going to slow down pretty quickly. So look to your right, you'll see captain is Neil Woolacott, who is the flight safety manager with Flyving. flying for 27 years with a background in the Royal Air Force. His first officer today is Captain Philip Pike.
Who's hold at Foxtrot North? Contact there for Tower 124.8.
Come in, hold Foxtrot North to Tower 124.8 for now. We'll start 3, right, 7, 1.
Great, straight into flight level 50.
Correction, straight ahead to flight level 50, Jersey, 088.
Very quiet aircraft.
Red Arrow is fair for Tower.
That's Tower, Red Arrows, good afternoon, approaching Foxtrot North to hold.
Red Arrows, roger, line up runway 27, the Embraer will be carrying out an approach to the display line.
That's copied, line up runway 27, Red Arrows. Display takeoff, coming left. Yes!
123.550, good day.
123.55, good day, Jersey, 088.
Hello. On up! Ah! Thank you. Lights on, go. Path. That's already for launch.
As Roger with the Embraer in sight, clear for takeoff and display. Surface wind is 26020 knots.
Clear takeoff display, have the Embraer in sight, Red Arrows. What's delay with the roll? Delaying the roll. Forward brakes on, holding standby. Engineers to move forward for. Negative, continue. Reds, rolling, now. Rolling, out. 5 hours, set. 9. Show starting, 4. She's only supposed to stay for 2 days. 6. Let's color on. Stop. 8 and 9. 4, stop. Sorry. Up.
And like all of the Harrier pilots in the Royal Air Force, of course the Harrier fleet recently disbanded, he's seen several operational tours in Afghanistan where we provide close air support to the young men and women of British forces and our coalition allies on the ground there. And of course you don't need me to tell you
Straight off. Set. Let it get out a little.
Stay work in Afghanistan on the ground.
Sorry. Right. Now.
Bear's not only a very experienced pilot, both in the Harrier Force
Holding the bank. Now. Sorry.
good runner actually, a pretty decent kite surfer.
Good.
Kite surfing during our training which takes place at RAF in Cyprus. I have to say, he did reach a reasonable standard this summer as well.
Letting it out a little.
Vixen formation. This is a wide formation.
Letting it
out.
Rolling.
Pilots
Out.
outside of the formation. And on the left wingtip of our big Vixen is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant
Easy.
Dave Sennett,
Up.
one of the third-year pilots.
Straight on. Set. Hard. Roll.
So as Red 1 calls for the roll to commence, this is the big Vixen roll. Red 9 on the left-hand wingtip there.
Holding the bank. Down. Letting it out. Typhoon. Set. 2. 3.
But of course now the Tornado is serving operationally in Afghanistan in replacement for the Harrier. So it's down the hill, the aircraft are building up
Now.
400 miles an hour. It's about a 4G twist as they come out of this.
Holding the bank. Down. Letting it out. Rolling. Out.
After the Eurofighter Typhoon, which you've just seen.
Short diamond. Set.
Probably don't need to
4.
fantastic aircraft
5.
that is, but that is the immediate near-term future for the Royal Air Force's combat.
Easy. Up. Color on. Set.
this, but you heard Red 1 emphasise the word roll.
Holding the bank now.
And it's on the R of roll that all of the other pilots anticipate their control inputs to manoeuvre at exactly the same time as Red 1. And that's how you get to see the perfect Apollo twister.
Right on. Go. And roll.
Kirsty's in her second year with the team this year.
Going rolling.
Joined the Royal Air Force pilot by her father, who was a navigator on the Tornado GR1.
Holding the bank now.
1991. And Kirsty herself.
Straight off. Go.
Tornado GR4, really following in her father's footsteps.
Flanker. Go. 2, 3, 4. Straight on. Go.
Named, of course, after the formidable Russian fighter aircraft.
Turning left. Now.
As Red 1 brings him into a 3G left-hand bag.
Holding the bank now. Right. Straight off. Go. Letting it out a little. Eagle. Go. 4. 5.
So Reds 4 and 5 acknowledge the change to Eagle.
Smoke off.
The first aircraft with its smoke on that we see is Red 4. Flight Lieutenant John Egging, known as Eggman to us. We're not the best at thinking of original nicknames in the Royal Air Force. And Eggman's the second of the first-year pilots on the team this year. Eggman joins us from the Harrier Force, and his frontline service was with 4 Squadron. Squadron. Again, another man with operational experience in Afghanistan. Keen runner. There's one running with his wife Emma, but we all know that she's a faster runner than he is. Actually, she's watching him today. But ladies and gentlemen, the team passes now in Eagle.
Straight on. Go. Straight on. Go. Touch. Rolling. Straight on. Go. Again.
So that was the whirlwind. All of the pilots stop rolling simultaneously to the left. During that manoeuvre, they lose sight of each other for about a second and a half.
Right. Now.
There was an awful lot of trust between those 9 pilots.
Holding. And pulling. Up.
Period. Throughout the winter and spring, flying 3 times a day, 5 times a week.
Red Heart, boss. Wind still 240, 15 to 20.
Red Heart covered.
The team have closed back up into Diamond 9 formation. The final manoeuvre of the first half coming up, called the Diamond Chicane. Gives me a good chance to talk about the third of the first-year pilots on the team, who sits just to the leader's left-hand side, so slightly above him as we look at the
Smoke on. Good.
Red 3 this year is Flight Lieutenant Sean Cunningham.
Turning left. Now.
South Africa, but he came back to the UK at a very early age. I grew up in the Coventry area. When he joined the Royal Air Force, he went on to fly the Tornado GR4.
Holding the bank now.
Famous Dam Buster Squadron. He was based at RAF Lossiemouth, but of course they were based at RAF Scampton during the Second World War, which coincidentally is the Red Arrow's home base. So Sean there just left the leader making
letting it up. In it. Back. Back. Go. Go. Straight off. Go. Rolling. In it. Back. Back. Go. So smoke off, go. Good time. Hit it. Smoke on. Go.
Try and take a reference from Red.
Loud astern. Go.
Start this right-hand bend. They swing out beneath him using lots of rudder.
Coming. Right. Now. Reverse back. Go. Two. Three.
The right-hand side of the formation and the odd-numbered aircraft were at the left.
Battle. Go.
It's the other way round.
2.
3 and 5
3.
on the right, 2 and 4 on the left. We need to get them back to where they should be. So actually, this is the clever part of this manoeuvre, and the real reason that we call it the slalom. And for them to pass through line of stern like that requires complete scare. Even for an experienced pilot to watch this
Colour on.
that's quite an eye-watering manoeuvre.
Tight.
So once again, the blue smoke comes on.
Up the surface with please, fine.
The slalom.
Letting it. Out. Rolling. Out. In it. Smoke off. Go. Jippo. Smoke on. Go. Good timing. 8 and 9. Oh, go. Jippo. Split. Oh, go. Oh, go. Rolling. Fix the brake with a 30 military to the right. Go! 6! Brake! Go!
Ladies and gentlemen, the very British Red Arrows. And you might as well listen to the pilots on the radio.
Braking.
We'll land 24020.
Clear out. Take gear.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've certainly listened
For the left, double space.
I wish you a great afternoon on behalf of the Red Arrows, and have a
demo of the 2 Tornado GR4.
And the Reds will be vacating Charlie North, making their own way to dispersal, and then we'll be backtracking the Vulcan after the Tornadoes depart.
6 copied, thank you.
And Frecce Tricolore display now running 9 minutes late. It's runway 27 in use. The QNH 997 millibars, QFE 987 millibars.
Well done, everybody.
Clear for takeoff. The surface wind is 250 degrees, 18 knots.
And leader 2 is with the Gulfstream on gold.
Leader 2, Roger, and I can pull out onto gold, but if you give way to the
Jet back in, we'll then do all the other procedure on the safety points back at the hotel.
Okay.
Using the booster power.
Heaven. Using power. 9.
Fairfield Ground, hello again, follow leader vehicle number 6, he'll initially be holding you beam the Breitling hangar.
Following leader 6, copy.
Leader 6, did you copy that?
Copied, holding him beam the Breitling hangar.
That's correct.
Right, full stop.
Surface wind 26020 knots.
Set land, over.
Vulcan, squawk 7004.
It was a quite incredible moment earlier this year when GR4s...
Vulcan, hold position and monitor tower, monitor on 124.8.
As part of Operation...
In the left-hand seat, and alongside him, Phil O'Dell, famous Rolls-Royce chief test pilot, and also Vulcan pilot extraordinaire, Pod as he's known. And in the back seat, the AEO, actually we've got two of them on board today. Just watch the tornadoes landing. So, say two AEOs, air electronics officers.
An aircraft Sean, which relies on us, the public, to keep her in the air.
Absolutely. When you left our airport, you don't see a Vulcan again, until along came Dr. Robert Fleming, who said, oh yes, we will, and nobody believed it, and eventually they started getting it all together, and carried it through.
Northwest, not above altitude 2,800 feet. When you're happy, you clear takeoff and display. The surface wind is 27018 knots.
Vulcan, clear takeoff and display immediate.
The howl.
Stunning. There again you get that slimline view of this aircraft. And just to show as she approaches this time, she doesn't always have to make a lot of noise. She tiptoes up on you. You don't realize she's there. And you look up and see what the Americans call the aluminum overcast, as the sky goes dark when she flies over. Now then, as she comes back in towards us this time from half right, this is when they'll be opening the bomb doors, so please be ready to wave. I'll give you the word. But of course, the conditions are absolutely perfect for this because the light here is lovely with this beautiful blue sky and the puffy white clouds. How different from this morning. How lucky we are when the weather situation suddenly improves. Long display line, further down. Long doors opening. That's the amazing, thank you very much by the way, that's the amazing huge bomb bay that carried the 21,000 pounds of bombs, 1,000 pound bombs, down to the Vulcan Islands. On that amazing record-breaking trip at the time in 1982, it was the longest bombing raid in history. It's as far from here to Santiago in Chile, and it involved the whole of the Royal Air Force's air refueling capabilities with Victors and other Vulcans involved. But they got all the way there and back, and they dropped those 21 1,000 pound bombs on the runway at Port Stanley. They hit the runway with 2 of them. Now you might not think that's a very good proportion to be successful with, but these were Second World War dumb bombs, no guided bombs there, so if you wanted to be sure of hitting a target, you had to drop a lot of bombs, and you hoped that some of them would hit, and 2 did, and that was what was required. Bomb doors should be closing as she comes around this time, but you just get the last look at the size of that bomb bay, and Phil Davies in the AEO seat at the back is just about to operate the switch, and there it is, towards the flaps. That's one of the things you can sign up for down at the Vulcan page. There's a whole plaque in there with lots of people's names on it who get to fly around in the Vulcan. And there, as you see her going away, once again you get that slimline look. One of the reasons she turned out to be stealthy, I discovered the other day, and it's been proved that she is, because in the red flag exercises with the Americans, they found it very difficult to pick her up on radar despite her size. And one of the reasons it turned out to be stealthy is because she's curved, lots of curves on her and no vertical surfaces, and that's what the P2 is the same. And of course the great Roy Chadwick, who designed this aircraft in 1946, and it first flew in 1952, so it was only 11 years after he first flown the Lancaster, yet they might be in different centuries, these 2 airplanes. And of course I don't think he can possibly have known about stealth, but somehow he just managed to get it right. I think he's going to make a noise. Wonderful shadow over the sheds on the far side of the airfield. Triangular shape. Well, not quite as much noise as I thought this time. He should be going into a spiral climb. If you're looking at her through binoculars, you may see that the air brakes are out. That's the air brakes, they stick out top and bottom of the wings. Actually, he may have decided not to do the spiral climb. But when he does that, they stick the air brakes out, because if he doesn't, she'll be up to 10,000 feet before you know where she is. But perhaps no spiral climb today, we shall see. We were saying earlier that we're hoping she's going to be around for next year. I can see the air brakes out now, because she's going to, we hope, take part descend now back into the circuit so that we can see her do a low lift plus a taxi charge. £4.50 of that at least will go to the Vulcan and Sky Trust. So here is Kevin and pod, bringing her in off the low overshoot, bringing the gear up again. Climbing like a homesick angel. And I misled you. I said he was going to do an overshoot on the landing direction. He did it in the opposite direction. Now the gear's coming down again, and this will be in for her landing. Now because she's...
Vulcan, roger, clear for land, runway 27. The surface wind is 25020 knots.
Clear land, gear down.
Every time it's used, so we don't use it when we don't have to. But I'm sure we shall see. We think she's got a guardian angel who's a bit inattentive. Sometimes she forgets, but she's so far always come back in time. She's just about to touch down. So we'll look for the little puffs of smoke as the main wheels touch down. Just holding her off. Not even any puffs of smoke. A very, very smooth landing. 16 wheels down, 2 to go. And let's see how long they'll keep the nose wheels off the ground. Slowing down, looking like some great, enormous, prehistoric creature. How beautiful. How absolutely spectacular. Wheels back to Earth. The Avro Vulcan.
Go on for guest up to 26, clear for takeoff and display.
Copies 1720.
Start your visit in Italy. The base is open. You can follow all the Frecce Tricolori in flight. Start
in the picture, once we got the Spitfire on frequency, that's probably too big a delay, certainly for the Hurricane. I'm not short of fuel yet, but I will be after 20 minutes later. Memorial 2 and 3 from 1, we're holding over Swindon at 1,000 feet to 986, Fairford QFE. Memorial 2 has 986 at 1,800 feet, about 4 miles to the east. Want to run out well before then? Hear me, mate. We'll talk about it when we get a bit closer, but I'm probably not going to have enough. Come on. So left with an annoy when they told us all time and we couldn't have kept the delay. Amen. Hurricane Spitfire, the Lancaster's to the west of Swindon, and I'll be over the top of him in about 2 minutes. Lancaster, Hurricane holding hand, 14 with a high split. This is the Hurricane plan. I've not got enough fuel to even start with you guys. Otherwise I'd have to land at Fairford and disrupt the display. So my intention is to divert to Kemble shortly. You to carry on as we brief, and we will speak to each other once we are on the ground at our respective airfields.
The shape of another symbol of our camp.
At this rate, if we're not on until 20 past, I'll only have 10 gallons of gas for the entire display. Right on minimum. I've been airborne at hour 35 already.
Fighters from Lank, do you want to do a crowd rear for a singleton display and then you land and we'll hold off and then display after you've landed?
Unfortunately, if you've got 20 gallons, you can just arrive T17, you can then display land, and then we'll carry on once you're down.
It's coming at your 11 o'clock.
We've got 23 gallons of usable fuel left, and we've got on for another 18 minutes. Yeah, I think it's 8 minutes. Just don't think it's, I'm just not comfortable. They're the ones that have screwed this up, so I'm going to go to Campbell. Yeah, good call. Fairford, Hurricane, diverting to Temple, coming left onto west. 2691, Piccoli, is about 4 minutes.
Negative, we're about 19 minutes over.
Enough copy.
Fairford ground, wing walk.
Wing walk is ground.
Just confirm our slot time now, please.
Okay, just 1 second. Looking at about a 40 slot.
Check in. 2. Wing walker shutting down, starting again at 25 past.
Roger that.
Wind, please.
258 degrees, 24, gusting 26.
Copy the wind, we'll report to land from downwind.
Roger.
It will be running and brake.
Roger, cleared for the run and brake.
Copy.
Green, white, red, is that the colour? Yes. Great history, very spectacular displays from the Italians. We talked about the Dutch, what they've sent over the years, but the Italian... So what you said there, the Spitfire can feed off the first of those two displays. And whilst the aircraft are flying their displays, I'll intend... So affectionately referred to by the pilots on the BBMF as the Baby Spit, P7 is the oldest airworthy Spitfire in the world, and it's the only Spitfire still flying today to have actually fought in the Battle of Britain. She's believed to be the 14th aircraft of 11,989 who were built at the Castle Bromwich Shadow Factory in Birmingham. She entered service in August of 1940, and she flew in the Battle of Britain, serving with 266 and 603 Squadron. Having survived the war, P7 was actually sold for scrap to Messrs John Dale in 1948 for the princely sum of £25. Fortunately, the historical significance of the aeroplane was realised, and she was generously presented to the RAF Museum at Cologne. Remember the red arrows. He also flew the F-16 for 3 years with the Royal Netherlands Air Force, and has amassed over 6,000 flying hours in total. This is his 5th year with the flight. In fact, he's recently been awarded the MBE for his services to RAF Coningsby, the BBMF, and the Eurofighter Typhoon.
Ben, we're going to have to swap that lens out, aren't we? Yeah. Forgot about it.
So as those elegant lights, its ultimate success. He played a major part in achieving victory in World War II, and he truly deserves to play probably the most successful fighting design ever, certainly the most famous and charismatic of all time. Now pushing out to the left by a wing over, rapidly down the crowd line for his final climbing victory roll. As he does so, he's going to hand over by his victory roll behind him. They're also coming in from the left, one of only 2 airworthy Lancasters in the world, the Airshow. Lancaster was built just too late to take part in any hostilities in the Second World War, and as such, assigned to photograph reconnaissance duties before being used for trials of new wing designs. For this, he had a turret removed, and the trial wing mounted vertically on the upper rear fuselage. PA-474 was thankfully restored to the condition and appearance of a wartime bomber, and she joined the flight in 1973. On the next task, we should see the remarkable bomb bay doors, 33 feet long. This is one of the factors that led to the Lancaster being such a successful heavy bomber. Bomb bay doors were originally a specification of the Manchester, its predecessor. They were designed to have to support torpedoes. They left the same fuselage design. This allowed the Lancaster to carry an extraordinary payload. Lancasters that each completed.
This bit overheats quite a lot. How fast, Charlie North?
Well, you can't get off the first right there. There's aircraft on it, so it's about another 3,000 feet down the runway.
Copy. You could have told me that.
One of just 2 airworthy Lancasters in the world. The other one is with Canadian warplane heritage across the Atlantic.
Royal 3 Spitfire vacates.
If you want to get up close to 2 of the
CBMFs making their own way back to the hangar.
Yeah, I'll send them to the hangar.
Okay, I'm just at Charlie North if you need.
Yeah, take them to Ip and Yellow. Sorry. Yeah. Lightning formation, power, you on frequency?
Frequency, right.
Roger, lightning line up runway 27.
Not at all.
5 for Memorial 1305, 1305, go.
Thanks all for tuning in.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the Vulcan jet speed for takeoff.
Well, Coast, just to confirm you are clear takeoff runway 27 and display. The surface wind is 265 degrees at 16 knots.
Clear takeoff and display, wing walkers.
Ground India 2159, good afternoon.
India 2139, Birmingham ground. Fairford.
Fairford ground, negative on Fairford delivery, India 2159, ready to start up.
India 2159, Roger, stand by, and I will call you back. I will check your flight plan.
Stand by, India 2159.
And another chance to get them in the same shot. The wing walkers and the buffeting them around, and you can see the aircraft being buffeted around as well.
First wing walk.
And the first player splitting in front of us there. To be followed by the second. For the first of the opposition manoeuvres. The steermen get up to speeds of some 160 miles an hour at maximum, and they put the girls through for anything from +4 to -2 G. And here you can see the swivelling rig in action. The girls now sideways on the wings.
To the harbour, the rasping sound as they tip to the...
Doing the stream bump. Okay. And then we're positioning to land. Like off Marco. Just extends slightly, Vic.
Girls have now climbed down from the top wings as they made their circuit into land, and bringing to a close the Breitling Wing Walkers display. Our thanks to the pilots Vic Norman, Martin Carrington, Dave Farrell and Steve Hicks.
And of course the girls too, Sarah Tanner, Daniel Hughes, Stella Gilding and Charlotte Bose.
So there to do the Breitling Jet team. The team to form the
Black Diamond. The jets are now going to slip into the Blackbird formation. The planes are less than 3 meters each other. Precision, concentrations are the main words for empowerment. Brighton 6 and Brighton 7 have now left the formation, and the team continues the galactic crossing. On your left, Brighton 7 coming up to cut the path to 5L35. Gentlemen, now we're coming to the second part of our display at 15 meters from each other. Let's go! G4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on your right, that's your top. On your left now, coming back, Sheriff and Vulcan.
Main leader, Kofi. I hope to enjoy our cooking. Still better than this morning. Expect to see you tomorrow. Bye.
Right formation, roger, runway 27 clear to land.
Thames area clear to depart Fairford, routing on track hole Rose, not above 1,000 feet. VFR to southwest, squawk 4776, onward frequency when instructed 123.550.
major highlights because...
Clear the parts, another 5,000 feet to south, stalking 4776 and going 123,550.
Just say that height restriction is not above 1,000.
Yeah, not above 1,000 feet, 170.
170, all correct, call me ready for taxi.
Okay.
That's got 824 for ground clearance when you're ready. Head ahead to altitude 2,800 feet on a squawker 3740, QNH 996 millibars.
Confirm that was for 84.
That's got 824 AFM, that's correct. Runway heading 2,800 feet, squawk 37.
Which is the Eurofighter Typhoon. Yes, which replaced the J-35 draft in its service only a couple of years ago. Train replaced the F-5.
Leader 1.
No vehicle up in green at the moment due to some domestic problems.
Roger.
You want me to lead in?
Stand by.
Taxi 9, Roger, runway 27, clear for now. The surface wind 280 degrees, 7 knots, and the QFE now 983 millibars. 29, vacate the first on your left now at Bravo.
Next left, next to Bravo, take the 9 up.
Cover clear, takeoff and display, Spara 30.
And accelerating through 160 knots. 180 knots. All the pilots inside the aircraft are test pilots graduated from the test pilot school around the world. Major De Luca is actually graduated from National Test Pilot School in Mojave. 3,000 flying hours. Major Ferreri is an U.S. Air Force Test Pilot School graduated and is now performing full Snyder turn. 3Gs on the aircraft right now. Accelerating to 140 knots. This is a full aileron roll from a 70,000 pounds maximum takeoff weight. And here we are, accelerating again on the runway. You can imagine how the chatting inside the aircraft is going on. Major De Luca asking for power. Major Ferreri actually giving all the engine settings he will need. And accelerating again to 160 knots. Maximum speed for the airplane. And there will do a complete loop in front of you. 3Gs on there. 45 degrees. 90 degrees. Through 120 knots. Now at the top. 90 knots on top. Full inverted. Through the vertical again. 150 knots. Coming back. 3Gs maximum. Well inside the aircraft limits. And you wouldn't turn in a normal way the aircraft. We are doing a John Derry turn right now, coming back to the display line. You probably can see the spoilers and the ailerons moving on the wing, which will give a pretty high roll rate for the aircraft. Back to the display line. This is another very nice maneuver, very unusual maneuver. You can see probably it done by an extra 300, not for sure by a cargo aircraft. 300 feet, pulling up, 190 knots, knife edge fly. Full right rudder,
aspect of our infrared is now hanging from the ceiling actually. Three. And away from display line. Nose is going high. And this is a very impressive roll under from the C-27J, right in front of you. And the major parade is asking for clearance for landing. 3Gs again for downwind. The landing obviously is not a normal landing, will be an assault landing. They will keep their altitude till they are right on the edge of the runway and will be an assault
landing sped up.
030 is clear to land, surface wind 290 degrees, 12 knots.
Clear to land.
Viper fare for ground, your start is approved. And temperatures +15.
Full aileron, 30,000 feet per minute descending, and now coming to land. Touchdown right in front of the public, and now the touchdown.
Taxi to Charlie, spera 30.
030 AFM, vacate first right at Charlie North. Contact Fairford ground 130.5. Bye-bye.
Line 5, contact Fairford Tower 124.8.
Captain Fairford Tower 148.
Base 95 Fairford Tower, good morning. Ready for display?
Yes, 95.
Base 95, Roger, line up and wait for runway 27.
Line up and wait 27 next.
Surface wind 290 degrees, 9 knots.
Start up.
Display aircraft that's here might look quite similar to last year's jet, but in fact it's been slightly revised because this year celebrates the 65th anniversary of the post-war foundation of the Belgian Air Force, and there's a marking with a Spitfire and an F-16 juxtaposed to reflect that.
Mace 95 is clear to land, surface wind 300 degrees, 12 knots.
His name was Mark de Keesel. He was a doctor. He served in the Belgian Air Force on search and rescue helicopters before becoming a general practitioner. He was a true friend of this air show. His jacket with its many Air Force patches hangs in his memory in the Fiat enclosure this year. This music you hear, Elgar's wonderful Nimrod, was a piece he held very dear to his heart. He loved the Spitfire, the Red Arrows, and of course he loved the Belgian Armed Forces. It's to Mark's memory that we dedicate this display. Michel Mitch Berlin with the F-16 AM of the Belgian Air Component. Blue skies, Mark, from all your friends here at Fairford.
Contact Fairford ground 130.5.
Touching ground, 130.5.
Team Viper and leader 1 via Bravo, enter runway 27, but no further east than Charlie.
The one with Viper entering at Bravo, vacate Charlie North.
Team Viper on turnaround, you are cleared for takeoff runway 27, the surface wind is 270 degrees at 8 knots.
Clear takeoff, copied the wind, Viper. It's copied, and Fairford be advised you've got a hair vacating the runway on the northern right tip.
Viper, that's understood. Do you still have to depart?
Hey sir, it's sitting watching us.
Viper, roger, and the surface wind 310 degrees at 10 knots, still cleared for takeoff.
Clear takeoff, Viper running up.
In this group, a pair of
Flap 1, go.
And that ex-brand new GA11.
Swing left. The 5 and 6 detached, call clear. 5 clear. Viper, box, go.
5 and 6 from tower, you are clear to land, surface wind 290 degrees, 15 knots.
The leader vehicle in green for 2 times Hunter.
Ground leader 8, I'm just making my way across to Alpha North, so if you want me to pick them up, I'll be the only one down there.
Leader 8, roger, stand by.
Aircraft, call sign Fox 1 or Viper 1. T7 of course being...
Solo Turk, Fairford Tower, good afternoon. There's no delay to your display. Report ready to display.
Solo Turk ready for display.
Turk, sorry, confirm ready for display?
Confirm ready.
Solo Turk, roger. Line up runway 27.
Solo Turk lining up.
Now you see the smoke on to give you a better presentation. The gears up.
360 degrees tunnel in front of you at low speed and altitude with gears down. The specialty of it, since F-16 changes to a different flight control mode when the gear is down, less responsive than normal, it is also a difficult maneuver to present. After Major Murat Kedesh, our following pilot will be Captain Fatih Batmaz for the next year, and after that it will be me, most probably for the 2013. It's Captain Yalın Apache. He starts recovering. He will go for a split S landing.
Tutor, clear to land, surface wind 290 degrees, 8 knots.
Celtic Villiers should...
Because it's our first presentation here, and we are looking forward to be here again, and United Kingdom. And thanks to the Riyadh organization, the hospitality that they just provided us. Thank you, everyone.
Captain Yalın Apache there with the commentary. Major Murat Kedesh at the controls of a real highlight of this week's events here. That's solo flown big, solo Turkish airport.
Lieutenant Sean Kimberley bringing up the rear.
In the course of its 70 years, the Air Cadets have flown millions of air experience flights in fixed-wing aircraft and millions of flights in gliders too.
This formation today are where many still have close sections with the air cadet movement. This weekend saw a remarkable achievement, the 1 million gliding induction course. And the fact that this has been achieved this year just shows the dedication and work that is put in by all of the instructors and cadets alike. Interesting to note that John Higgins is the chipmunk bear. He's the nephew of the Jersey International Air Display organiser Mike Higgins. John became the youngest display authorization holder in the United Kingdom when he gained his DA a couple of years or so ago now. Flying training for over 3 decades. There are now 17 squadrons around the country that fly at weekends and public holidays, and they offer flying training to cadets from 13 years of age and upwards.
Which is appropriate because the motto of the cadets is Venture, Adventure. There are 10 VGSs around the country operating the Viking, paralleling the vigilant operations. There are squadrons from Kinloth to Bredannock and from Warthog to Kirkwood, all offering cadets an outstanding introduction to a life in aviation.
The gliders, the historic gliders in this flight path, provided for us very kindly by the historic life of 621 Volunteer Gliding School at Abington in Wiltshire. Beautifully preserved machines they are too, aged from 13 up to 20 years old. They offer an average of 20,000 scholarships for those aged 16 and above who go solo each year. In total, the Air Cadets have sent over 125,000 gliding induction courses, 1.5 million air experience flights, the milestone of the millionth gliding hour taking place just on Friday.
13, enter runway 27 and backtrack for your 09 departure.
Thank you very much for having me here, and I can actually display
the last display for the Italian test center, which is a Tornado IDS version. I'm sure 8,700 pounds of thrust drive. And the full range right now will be 50,000 pounds.
Is clear to land. Surface wind is 280 degrees, 12 knots.
Light up. And clear to land. Major Valdus is now touching down. Full reverse on the airplane. Just for your information, three members of the Red Arrows are now down to Monsters. Thank you.
Sparrow 13, backtrack runway 27, vacate right at Foxtrot.
Here we have a special one-off performance by Alexandra Vulcan, that's the winner, at 1 o'clock on the continent.